Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. This is the last taste challenge for many months, I guess, at least 3 months probably. But we have this morning Cruzan aged light rum, a blend of rums aged 1 to 4 years, giving it that yellow Chardonnay appearance. All right, it's got a notch down at the bottom and on the back. These are made for putting on a rack. They don't roll, keep them from rolling. Here is Palo Viejo, no age statement. Bunch of medals that it never won. Okay. Just showing Puerto Rican symbolism, the Spanish royal family. Remember, Puerto Rico was part of Spain until 1898. Showing, look like some prophet. The island of Puerto Rico, showing a conquistador. The crown of Spain, exposition, some kind of like trying to make it look like some world exposition. Puerto Rico, the fort, that San Juan fort, and then another, I guess these weren't awards. Well, one of them's a world exposition. Another medallion showing the Spanish royal arms. Ron de Puerto Rico, Puerto Rican rum produced by Barcelo Marcos and Company in San Juan and bottled by Munson Shaw in Illinois. I saved these for last, this one for last, because they're both bottled in Deerfield, Illinois, apparently at the same place. And from what I can understand, Munson Shaw is owned by Beam Suntory. You know what I'm saying? They bought it, that bottling plant. That's why you see a lot of Jim Beam products bottled in Illinois. Are we live at 5:42? Cheers, buddy. Lone Star Beer Reviews. Hello, Lone Star. Yes, 5:43 a.m. So these are both under the Beam Suntory umbrella in some fashion. Does Beam Suntory own Barcelo Marcos and Company of Puerto Rico? You never find out looking at the Beam Suntory website, which is so unhelpful. It used to be sort of helpful, but not that good. And now the website's even less user-friendly. They show a few brands that they make, just a handful. The rest is like, yeah, well, doesn't exist. I'm not worrying about it. At least on Heaven Hill's website, you can click on product specifications and they'll give you a pretty good rundown of all their brands. Just, a listing. It's all writing. It's text. There's no pictures or anything. Sazerac used to have photos of their brands, and then they bought like 36 new brands, and I guess they didn't feel like taking photos of everything, and now there's no photos. So that's a very useless website. But anyway, enough ranting and raving about Beam Suntory and Sazerac's horrible websites. Beam Suntory. I'm not saying that the Beam Suntory website is unprofessional. It's professionally constructed, very high quality, good graphics, interface, and everything. Just no good information, unless you're looking for Jim Beam or Suntory whiskey of Japan. Beyond that, forget it. And they don't even give you a good rundown of Suntory, but anyway, they give you a rundown of the Suntories sold in the USA. But the Suntories that are sold in Japan and perhaps in America under some circumstances, forget it. Forget it. Beautiful silver gray plastic cap. $6.99 for the 1 liter bottle. $6.99. And $9.99 for the Cruzan. I was over there at the hot rod shop yesterday in River Ridge Hot Rods, which is no longer in River Ridge, it's in Jefferson. But one guy was saying, looking at me like, Palo Viejo, what's that? I said, well, they had it $6.99 at the beverage store in Baton Rouge, which I think is closed now due to this Cocoa V. But panic. But he said, you know why it was $6.99? Because nobody was buying it. Well, maybe that's the price, because I also paid $6.99 for Skull Dry White 1 liter, $6.99 for Aristocrat, Ron Rio, Clubhouse, Ron Pontalba Gold and White, and Skull Gold. So apparently in Louisiana, that's your typical liter price for these low grade, you know what I'm saying, cheap rums, bar rums, whatever you call them. Well drinks, real drinks. Put too much. Well, I'm not going to keep filling to get it exact, because I'll be like, whoop, too much, whoop, too much, whoop, too much, whoop, too much, and then it'll be at the brim. At the rim, I mean, fill it to the rim with brim. It's enough, and I think it's not too different. I think I'll be able to tell them apart, but I do have to close my eyes because of the yellowish Chardonnay-like tint of the Cruzan aged light. Cruzan Gold aged dark rum. They say dark, but it's really just gold. There's nothing dark about it. I don't know why you would call it dark, but they call it dark. When I think of dark rums, I think of things like Bacardi Black, Myers is, the Kraken. But anyway, the Cruzan aged dark, I didn't like it. It tasted like grain alcohol. You say, yeah, like rubbing alcohol. But the light has a nice, delicate flavor, a lot of little intricacies. So just goes to show you. The Barcelo Marcus has a nice character to it. It's apparently very popular in Puerto Rico. It's obscure to the hilt in the USA. I've talked to literally no one in person who's ever heard of Palo Viejo. I had a few online people commenting saying, yes, it is around my area and I know about it. Okay, but in person, no. Now I asked a guy about, you ever heard of Ron Rico? He says, oh, Ron Rico, that's cheap stuff. It's trash and you can't even drink it unless you mix it with Coke. I didn't argue with him because I've never had it, so I can't say he's wrong because he's probably had it. Or maybe it's the kind of thing where, you talk to people and they're full of it. They heard about it or they know people that had it and they're just talking dog. But I don't argue with people about alcohol. I don't really argue with people about anything unless they like call me on something. I was at a bar one time and a guy said something and I was like, no, actually I said, no, Harry Carey was a television announcer for the White Sox from 1971 to 81, 11 seasons. And he told me, you're wrong. Well, I'm going to back down from that. I said, no, I'm not wrong. And he got mad. This guy got angry. And my other friend was saying, he's a lawyer, don't argue with him. He comes here all the time. I said, I don't care if he's a lawyer or not. I don't care if he comes here all the time. I know what I'm talking about. He's telling me I'm wrong. I know Harry Carey was the announcer for the White Sox from 71 to 81. And then he went to the Cubs in 82. He wasn't there that long. They make it sound like people think he was there like for decades. He was only there in the 80s and the 90s. And he was at the Oakland A's 1970, one season, and the Cardinals from like 1948, it might have been 47, 48 to 69. But he's telling me I'm wrong. And I'm like, no, I'm not wrong. He did a good impression of Harry Carey. Well, that's nice. You did a good impression of him, but you're still not right. But, I wasn't there to argue about it. I just wasn't going to let somebody tell me I'm wrong. Now, if I didn't know, I'd say, well, maybe you're right. I'm not sure. I'll say that if I don't know something, I'll be like, I'm not sure either. But I'm not going to have somebody just tell me I'm flat out wrong when I know what I'm talking about. Sorry, enough ranting. Okay. But it's the truth. Now, on the other hand, if I'm wrong about something and I find out later, I'll admit it. I'll be the first one to admit it. Yeah, I was wrong about that. I'm not like prideful, like, oh no. This smells kind of musty and what you call that, yeasty. And wasn't the Cruzan age light kind of musty and yeasty? Wasn't that the one? Okay, let's go over here. This is kind of like that too. They're both musty and yeasty, but one's from Puerto Rico and one's from St. Croix in the United States Virgin Islands. Hey, but I'm just telling you what I'm smelling. These are clean glasses. I clean them with hot water and soap. They were very well rinsed. Now, did they smell bad? No. Nope. Smell like fermented liquor products. How about sugary sweet? Nope. Don't smell so sugary sweet. Let's go with the taste. Cheers to you all. Now I'm getting the sweetness. A little sweetness, a little wood, a little charcoal. Now, the Cruzan's going to have to win big because you get 25% less liquor, but it costs you $3 more. So I'm getting 25% less and I'm paying $3 more. It better really stand out. It's going to lose even if it's marginally better. It has to be significantly better, $3 better. All right. I had somebody calling me out. I got to go answer comments later. I haven't had a chance to answer. I was watching baseball last night and then I got sleepy and turned it off. But he was telling me, you know, he always states opinions as facts. Like, this beer is clearly better than those others. Instead of saying, no, in my opinion, it's better. You know, that aggravates me when people state opinions as facts, you know. I always qualify with, well, I think, or to me, you know, that makes more sense, right? And I told him, I said, look, I call these beers as I see them. The score I give is the score I come up with in my mind based on what I'm tasting. I don't score it based on what other people think I should score it. You understand? I don't pander to the crowd. So if I score beers a certain way and everybody unsubscribes and stops watching, good, fine. That's the way I'm going to do it. I'm not going to lose integrity to make people happy. And the final answer is, you don't have to tell me 50 times that you don't like my scoring. You only have to tell me once. I'll believe it. And so I don't, you know, I'm going to address that later. You know, you don't have to harp on it. I get it. All right. Yeah. You know, you do some videos, you know, you got no content. Why don't you make a channel and do videos? Maybe I'll agree. Maybe I'll disagree. So, you know, that's the way it goes. I'm definitely not going to answer the people with an alias, you know, phantom people. I don't answer the phantom people. I barely answer the people I actually know. All right. This one's sweet too, but not as musty. It's just like more straight sweetness. Interesting. See, like this contest, I'm going to score it as I see it, not as I'm not thinking, well, the viewers might not like it, so let me make a score that'll please them. That's a phony approach to beer, wine, and liquor reviews. What you're supposed to do is make an assessment, try to make an intelligent assessment, and give the score regardless. Not pander to the crowd. Do some people do that? I don't know if they do it or not. How would I know? I would have to know what's in their mind, you know. I watch some people that seem to do that. But I can't say that they're doing it. Just seems that way, but I can't. How would I know? I can't read their minds. I don't know their motives. Well, there's some charcoal here, some wood. Now, does the 1 to 4 years seem to make a great difference as opposed to the Barcelo Marcus Palo Viejo, which has no age statement? And you know what that means. You'd be lucky if it's a year. Oh, it has to be a year. That's right. Rums of Puerto Rico. No, that's to be in the trade association. I don't really think it's a law in Puerto Rico that they have to be aged a year, because then why would the association adopt a guideline? If that's the law, you don't need a guideline. Isn't it? You can't go under it. But whatever the case, does the minimal aging seem to make a big difference as opposed to 4-year blend? No, I'm not seeing where it's making much difference at all. But why should that surprise me? I've had 12-year-old Canadian whiskeys that are dismal failures compared to some 3-year-old. They got 9 years on them and came out no better. And in fact, they were worse. No benefit of 12 years. You say, yeah, but what if you're aging something that's no good for 12 years? Exactly. That's my impression. 12 years of no, what cheap but good drink, says Ricardo Mata. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. What cheap but, are you asking me what is a cheap but good drink? If you're asking me that question, Palo Viejo is a perfect example. It's cheap and it's good. Is it great? Is it world class? Is it fabulous in every way? No. Have I ever had a rum that fits that category, fits those parameters? I doubt it. No, I don't suppose I have. This one's a little sweeter. It's got a little more sweetness. This is a tough call. I think that this might be the Palo Viejo based on the sweetness. But didn't the Palo Viejo have a lot of charcoal flavor underneath? And that does. Like a peppery, but there's no pepper, you know. Well, anyway, before we call it, it's a draw. Let's be honest. I can't tell them apart, really. It'll be a coin flip. So if I get it right and I say, ha, 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 I got it right, that's all antics. That's all for show. I don't really know. But the Palo Viejo wins because it's a $3 difference and you get 25% more for $3 less. And there's really no, I wouldn't even say there's even marginal quality differences. It's like the same. Is the Cruzan probably better? I don't know that. And you might say, what is your rum expertise? Who made you an expert on rum? Oh, I'm sorry. Whoever said I was an expert, and why? And notice throughout all my videos, I never made any such claim to that effect. I've never said I was a rum expert. I said I liked trying it. It's fun to taste it. Expert? No, you got the wrong channel. I'm not even a beer expert, and I've done thousands of beer reviews. I drank it. I try them. I tell you what I think. Expert? No. If you find anywhere in any of my videos where I ever claim to be an expert, I'll send you money. Of course, you're not going to get paid because you're never going to find that in the videos. I'm like Joe Walsh. I'm just an ordinary, average guy. You want some gum? Hey, I don't know. So it's a tie, which means Palo Viejo wins. Because if it's a tie, the cheaper one's going to win by default. Common sense. So if I was looking to buy rum, and I could be looking to buy rum, which one would I buy? I'd buy the Palo Viejo. Why? I get 25% more and it's $3 cheaper. End of story. But I think this is I think it tastes a little more aged. My confidence level on this is 0, basically, but I think this is the Cruzan Aged Light Rum. Nope. It's the Palo Viejo. Well, there you go. That's the third one I got wrong. And I wasn't shocked because I was thinking all along that it could be a big risk. I was worried about this all along. When I say worry, I mean worried in context, not actually worried for real. Kyle, some people associate price with quality. Yes, and there is a relationship, but it doesn't always correlate. Cruzan for a hangover, right? Cruzan for a hangover. Kyle, sometimes you get what you pay for, and sometimes you don't. Y'all, sometimes you don't. All right, well, I said I'm going to watch the news. Starting Tuesday, it's brandy, but not too many. I've only got 3 challenges coming up because I don't have that much brandy, but I've got San Luis, brandy San Luis versus 3 others. Be interesting. All right, and then it's rye whiskey, straight rye whiskey. Ooh wee.